Hey, NorCal. All right, we are in February. It is already February 9th, and some of the clubs have already started their season, and some of the clubs are getting started with their season. So, we are here talking tonight with Jason from Blue Max and Kelsey from NNKC about their season that's going to be starting. And we're excited to have them. I am going to bring up the calendar so that way we can talk a little bit about races this weekend. What do we got? We have Formula KFX round one. So round one is going to be in Sonoma, and on Saturday. So round one will be Saturday. Sunday is the endurance championship. So they're two different sort of series. The rounds that are listed on the calendar is the actual championship series, and then the endurance championships are going to be the Sunday events at some of the races that are in conjunction with the championship series, but it's going to have it's its own championship, but it's the endurance format versus the regular KFX format. Both will be in Sonoma this weekend, so Josh and I will see you in Sonoma if you are going to be there for round one of Formula KFX and the endurance championship. That's going to be this weekend. Next weekend is Challenge of the Americas round 1 and 2 at K1 Circuit. I did get a notice today that they extended the registration for all of you that were at Tri-C, for Florida Winter Tour, and FAT Karting. So the deadline for registration is extended, but it's not going to be extended for long. So if you're thinking about registering, now's the time. It's not peer pressure. It's just time to do it. All right. So, and remember, we did add all of the 4-cycle classes to challenge this year. So it's not just going to be the normal 2-cycle classes. We're also going to have the 4 cycles included. It is also Blue Max Circuit Slayer on the 22nd. We'll have Jason on to tell us a little bit more about that race and registration and all that. That'll be happening in Blue Max. So that's all I have for February. I am going to be getting the NNKC schedule on the calendar as well. They just released that, but we'll have Kelsey tell us a little bit more about that later. Yeah. One thing I did want to shout out is our NorCal guy, Chase Hand, went to Florida Winter Tour, and he had an absolutely amazing time there. He qualified on pole and led almost every lap of the weekend. So he's the guy that we're rooting for personally here in NorCal. So yeah, congrats Chase Hand and Florida Winter Tour for repping NorCal and doing all that leading and stuff. Yeah, I wanted to make sure that I got it right. Put it on pole and led every lap of the weekend. So our boy Chase Hand, shout out there. And all right, so if you have any questions for any of us, Jason from Blue Max, Kelsey from Reno, go ahead and put them in the comments, and we will go through the questions as we go through the show. So let's get started. I'm going to bring up Kelsey first. We got Kelsey and Jason are both here, but I'm going to bring up Kelsey first, and then we will talk to Jason from Blue Max. All right, here we go. Hey, Kelsey.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. All right. So I see a lot of stuff coming, being posted on the NNKC Facebook page um, that I want to get into. So, first off, let's put up y'all's schedule right here because I just saw that it was released and I want to make sure that we get it on the NorCal calendar. Let me, no, that one, this one. It's just me tonight, so I'm switching everything back and forth. Okay, so we got NKC schedule. We got full season this year, it looks like, with the Rick Jerome Memorial Night Race again. So that's going to be exciting. All right, so here we go. Okay. All right, shout out Braxton Shiflett, fourth in points for Florida Winter Tour. You go, boy. Another NorCal guy. Love it. Love it. All right, Kelsey, let's talk about this schedule.
Yeah,
So,
we do a lot. Our season starts late and kind of ends earlier. We're trying not to have some issues that we've had in the past with rain. Our first race last year got rained out. Unfortunately, the first race we have on the schedule is probably not going to happen. But the good news is that that's probably when our repave is happening, and that's why that race would be moved out. What we want to do this year is make the next race a double header. We probably won't do that for the first race just because we want to make sure we get our bearings in. But that second race, the June race, is probably going to be a double header because we won't have the April race. And we just haven't taken it off yet because we're in the final stages of signing a contract and making sure we get the dates set up. So we're shooting for mid-April, which means that we probably are going to have to push back that first race.
all right. So, you mentioned the repave. Talk a little bit about that. I don't know if there's anything posted here, but
no, it's been a big effort. We've been working on it for a long time. We were going to do it last year, but some things fell through, so we just couldn't get it done. But with some new connections and some new people involved, we pushed and are going to get it paved this year. And we're going to do a couple changes to the track. We're going to do some things to make it a better racing surface, maybe make it better for 2 cycles. So once we're done, we're going to post some videos of it getting done, and then we'll have a bigger post of it afterwards. I also want to shout out to Jessica Mansfield. She's been added on to our social media crew, and she's been posting a lot of stuff, and it's been really awesome. I'm terrible with social media, so thanks, Jessica, for all that you post. But yeah, we're still working on the repave, and it's going to be a big event. We're going to do a lot of changes. It's going to change the surface a lot. I mean, it's going to change the whole racetrack. So we really hope that it brings a lot of people out this year and we have a good race season. We averaged I think 82 racers a race last year. So we have some pretty good competition, but the new race surface is just going to make that so much better.
Dang, that sounds awesome. All right. And then I do remember the last time you were on, we were talking about this track improvement fundraiser. So I'm glad that this finally was able to come through and now it's going to happen this year. Let's go. All right. So another thing that I wanted to talk about, there was something posted about the airport, I believe, right?
So part of the reason why we were stalled a little bit last year was because of the announcement of a gigafactory coming to Reno that was going to be put on the Stead Airport. The company Lighten was going to put a big lithium sulfur battery plant on the airport, and there was potential that it could be built on top of our racetrack. It turns out that it's not going to happen now. there's been a couple reports from the Reno Airport Authority that said that's not happening. Lighton has come back and said that's not true. We're going to build. But honestly, with all the people I've talked to and the knowledge that I have from investigating this and people we know, it's likely not happening in the near future, maybe many years down the road, but there's just a lot of factors that mean it's not going to happen, which is great for us because losing the racetrack would be a big deal. And without having that big company out there, I don't think they would have built right on top of our track, even if they would have, but it would have just paved the way for any other company to come out there. Since the air races are no longer at the airport, they're kind of subsectioning out some of their land to rent to other companies. But on that side of the airport, it requires a lot of development and a lot of red tape has to be pushed through. So it's not going to happen in the near future, which has made it easier for us to justify spending the money to repave the track.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that too. So that probably makes it a little bit easier now that you guys are going to repave, and now we can take a breath and know that we're going to be here for a while, which is good because
I mean, Reno's growing a lot. So there's a good chance that in another, 10, 20 years, it gets built over out there, but hopefully we can help hold it off for at least a little while longer and really utilize the life of the new pavement going in.
Yeah. Well, and with you guys being the only track in that area, and like you're saying, now you're averaging about 80 racers, there's just nothing but growth that we're hoping to see from there too. So we definitely want to keep that in mind and make sure that we do everything we can to keep you guys going. Yeah. All right. And then we got go ahead.
All the sport we can get would be great. It's just been growing a lot for the last decade I've been around. So
yeah. And then on here too, we got some kid kart news too.
Yeah, we've had we've had several kid karts in the past, and there's a couple of them. It's really hard to get the Honda motors, the GX50. As far as I can tell, Honda isn't making the sealed engines anymore, which is part of the reason why it's so difficult. We went to races in Arizona and on the East Coast, and the 206 is a big kid kart class, and so it makes sense to move to that motor for kid kart. And the club is making the push, because if we don't make the push, then it'll be kind of a half and half class, which isn't really effective. I put my son in the kid kart class in a 206 a couple of years ago, and he was the only one. And it was it was enough of a difference that it was kind of hard to keep him doing that. So we'd like everybody to be on the 206. We're not asking people to spend a ton of money if they already have a Honda or if they already have a setup for their kid kart, especially new people. The club is happy to help find a motor or help anybody that might need some help with purchasing a motor. The club has had a couple sponsors that are more than happy to purchase motors for any kid kart parents that wouldn't be able to get one. But the reasons it makes sense is just because it's a motor that can be used in junior one. You can continue using it for a while if you have a leftover motor from another kid or an adult even that isn't being used. That motor can be used. It just needs a different coil and a different slide, which are both pretty cheap and easy to install parts. So there's a lot of reasons why it makes sense. The other reason is just it's a sealed motor. It levels the playing field. It's much easier for us to tech because we already have all the tools for tech. So even though I'm not really a fan of kid kart being a competitive class, that's kind of the way we've moved, and it makes it a lot easier on a lot of fronts. The GX50 Honda motor is also, you can get two different motors where one is just, a beast and is really fast, and another one that isn't. who knows what somebody did to it, and the techs kind of lied on it. So it just has a lot of good reasons to move to the 206, and we're making the push just because we want to make sure everybody's included. And if we just make a push this year, then it'll set us up for future years, and we can make sure everybody gets into the sport with something that's reliable, that's easy to find parts for, and then is easy to keep competitive.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. All right, so lots of stuff happening at Reno and NKC over here. So you can visit their Facebook page, Northern Nevada Kart Club, for more info. Like Kelsey said, they've been posting a lot of information and new videos and stuff on social media. So go ahead and go to their page and stay up to date on everything that's happening in Reno. Speaking of everything that's happening in Reno, I believe you guys are also going to be hosting a Formula KFX as well. And that one is going to be one of the 2-day events. So it's going to be, like I explained earlier, there's going to be the championship round for the season. And then we're also going to have an endurance race as well. Is that right?
I'm not sure on ours. I've talked to Phil a lot, and he kind of has everything figured out. So I just know he wanted those 2 dates to come out. I thought one day was like a practice and another one was a race, but I'm not really sure about it. Sorry.
All right. I believe it's in June. That's what I was getting to, right?
Yeah, June 21st and 22nd.
Okay.
Sorry, 27th and 28th. It was originally the 21st and the 22nd, and we had to switch it because there was a conflict, I think, with Challenge of the Americas. So it's on June 27th and 28th.
All right. So Formula KFX will be out there as well for the 2-day events. And that's when Josh and I will go out there and we will go back to Reno. We've been trying to go at least once a year. Reno's one of those tracks that we like to go and visit. So we definitely like making a trip out of it because you're in Reno and there's a lot of stuff to do there. So if you haven't been, go check it out, Northern Nevada Kart Club. But yeah, lots of cool stuff happening with you guys.
I just want to mention one more thing really quick. We also have a mini moto following at our track, and they have a handful of race dates that they're having. So if you're going to come up and just practice at the track, I'd highly recommend checking to see what our schedule looks like. And if the mini motos are going to be out there, they have races, and they also kind of shut down the track to karters on their race weekends. So if there's a chance you want to come out and practice, just make sure it's on a weekend where the mini moto is not happening.
All right. And then where is there a place to go for the schedule for that?
Just our website, nnkcreno.com has it on the homepage. Scroll down and you can see the mini motos site. Right. They also have their own website, but you can find it on our karting page and then link to it from there.
All right. Well, thanks, Kelsey, for joining us. If you have any other comments or any questions for Kelsey, go ahead and put them in the chat and we'll get your questions answered with Kelsey. I do want to bring up Jason as well, so that way we can talk a little bit about Blue Max and we can hear a little bit about Circuit Slayer. But Kelsey will stay with us for a little bit. If there's any more questions, you can put them in the chat. Thanks, Kelsey, for joining us. I know that we're busy during the week, so I definitely appreciate you coming on and making it happen.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It's always a good time when I come on here and sit with you.
All right, glad to hear it. Any other comments? Go ahead and put them in the chat, and we'll have Kelsey stay on a little bit longer. I'm gonna bring up Jason from Blue Max, and we will talk about Blue Max and Circuit. I was trying to remember the name, Circuit Slayer. So let me get that. Oh, I might have to take Kelsey off. One sec, Kelsey. Okay. So Blue Max and Circuit Slayer. Hey, Jason. Okay, first off, this is your first time on the show, so you're gonna have to introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are. While I'm pulling up the Blue Max stuff.
Cool. My name is Jason Hughes. I am this year's president out at Blue Max Kart Club in Davis. I'm pretty new to this. I got into karting with my 15 at the time year old son, who jumped into a 206 for this charity event out at Sonoma and then climbed out and said, I want one of these things. So about 3 years ago, we looked online, purchased a cart from Steve Kemp, and we already kind of knew about Blue Max. We came out here a couple times, and this has been our home track. Saw an opportunity to help out, and now I'm president of the board this year. It's been very accelerated.
Yep. All right. Sounds good. So you guys also have a lot of stuff coming out of Blue Max. Let's talk a little bit about Circuit Slayer, and then we'll talk about the season coming up. Steve Kemp did want to say thanks, Kelsey, for all your help.
Kelsey's been a big help all the time. I'm ashamed to admit how many times I've had to text her asking her for help. She's great.
Hey, I text her and ask her stuff all the time too. So Kelsey's just a book full of knowledge for everyone.
A rock star for sure. Good community.
Yep. All right. So let's talk a little bit about Circuit Slayer, and then we'll get into your season and all the stuff you guys got planned for Blue Max.
Excellent. Yeah, Circuit Slayer. This is the first time that we're trying something like this out at Blue Max. We talked with our members and asked them at the banquet that we had last year, like, what are you looking for? What would you like to see? And one of the things that they mentioned, of course, was more racing. And the second thing that they also mentioned was just like a non-points fun race. So we put together what we are calling the Circuit Slayer, and we made it so that we're trying to even the playing field. It's going to be a spec gear for each of the classes, and we are going to change the track in between each race. So the qualifying, heat 1, heat 2, and the main are all going to be on a different track. We are going to alternate the direction. So we'll start forward, go reverse, forward, reverse. And we are just going to, right after driver meeting, we are going to use a wheel and we are going to spin randomly and figure out what tracks we're going to be racing, what layouts we'll race that day.
Cool. All right.
It'll be just a one-day event. We're going to crown the champion that day, the Circuit Slayer. We got some cool trophies that kind of look like this guy here. And I think it's going to be a really fun day. So far, we're getting a lot of good feedback on it. People are excited. And hopefully it's not going to rain.
Yep. All right. So, and then I'm noticing here too that there's a pre-registration deadline coming up.
The deadline for pre-registration. So we like to do something for our members and for our racers out of Blue Max, where if you pre-register for a race by the Friday before the race, we put your name into a hat to win a free set of Evenco tires. So it's a good incentive. It really helps us on our side to prepare and know how many racers we're going to have and get things ready. And so by helping us out, we're going to help you out. We're going to give you a shot at winning a free set of tires, which we all know get pricey, and we go through a lot of them.
All right. So incentive, and you go to the Blue Max Kart Club website for the registration. And that pre-registered date it says February 20th. Is that right?
That is correct. So the Circuit Slayer race is on the 22nd. So as long as you pre-register by the end of that Friday, which is the 20th, you'll be entered in to win that free set of Evenco tires, and you pick which size you need. So whatever cart you're running, we'll get those tires for you. And yep, you just go to Blue Max's website. The registration is up now. You can pre-register. You can even pay for any of the pit passes that you need, your transponder if you need it. All of that is on the website. It's pretty quick and easy.
All right. And this is just so I'm reading also to two-stroke drivers? Or is this for?
Yep.
Because
so go ahead. Sorry.
Classes as well. Sorry, I was a little. I was trying to read this as well. So, what classes is this going to be for?
That is for all the classes that you see there. We do have a small group of two-strokes that show up at pretty much every race. And so they're going to be in this as well. The gearing for them, they pretty much are all running the same gear anyway. But we're just saying the moment you pick your gear for that qualifying, that's the gear you're stuck on for the rest of the day. So I have a feeling with the talent that we have out there with the two-stroke guys, they know what gear they're going to start with. They're all going to finish with that same gear. And we'll find out who the circuit slayer of that group is too.
All right. So any questions, Circuit Slayer, put them in the comments and we'll get to them today. Let's talk a little bit about your season that's coming, or let's talk about, okay, so the next video that I see is you guys have been doing some track improvements and getting some stuff repainted, it looks like. And hold on, I'm going to bring up the video right now. Blue Max Kart Club. So it looks like you guys have been doing some, there it is. All right, so it looks like some painting has been going on, some track stuff's going on. Tell us a little bit about what's been going on at Blue Max.
Yeah, this is going to be a really fun update for me just because I'm so excited about the community and how much they have come together this year at Blue Max. We had our annual track cleanup day just a couple weeks ago, and we had over 35, it's almost 40 people show up to help clean up the track. And you guys would be surprised at how much stuff can accumulate at such a small little club track out in Davis here. We hauled away almost an entire flatbed of stuff to the dump. So we got rid of some stuff. We repainted the lines. There's fresh coats of paints on the buildings. This Friday, we're actually getting a new roof put on our scale house. There's a new banner that's going to go up right in front of the podium. We got some new benches and some new tables donated to the track. It's just all around been a really good showing. People showing up, great community, which is what I love out at Blue Max. And the track's looking great. The grass is cut. The hills look nice. The track looks nice. It's going to be some good racing.
Perfect.
Yeah, I just want to say too, sorry, real quick. Jason's been putting in a ton of work, and Jason has gotten this love for the track that is pretty awesome to have on your board. So anybody that doesn't know Jason, if you haven't been out the track and seen him, he's putting in a lot of work behind the scenes. He's doing all the work he can to improve and get better and make the track a pretty awesome place to be. So good job, Jason. You're doing great.
Thank you. I'll pay you later for the endorsement. I appreciate it. It really is cool to see it all coming together. And I'm going to give another big shout out, you guys. If you know Josh Brendel, that guy has been out at the track on days that no one else is there, busting his behind to get this thing ready. So a big shout out to him as well. There's been a lot of work going on, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, no, I've been seeing a lot of people posting stuff too, that they've been out there and everything's looking good. And yeah, I have, so I actually met Jason in Sonoma, and it was funny because he was signing up and I was like, wait a minute, are you Jason from Blue Max? And he's like, I am. So now you're Jason from Blue Max.
Yes.
And but yeah, like Kelsey's saying, this guy's been doing a lot of promotion, doing a lot of social media stuff to get
on that note,
Go ahead.
I need Kelsey's social media person. That's what we need over at Blue Max. Somebody's got to stay on top of it. That could be a full-time job in and of itself.
It is. It's hard.
Yeah, so this is where I met Jason when we did the junior shootout at the Art Ingles Memorial Race. So we had some Blue Max racers come and participate in the shootout, and they won, right?
They did this, you guys. This was so cool to see these three drivers. I think independently we're trying to get a team together, and things just kind of fell apart. And the Wednesday before the race, we get a phone call. I got a phone call from Phil saying, I have a spot on a team. It's Blue Max drivers. Are you still looking? So Grant joined the team. So shout out to my son, Grant, and then Brock Perry, and then also Vicky Lou there. They came together, never having practiced together before in any kind of endurance race. It was Grant's first time in a two-stroke ever. Vicky and Brock both had practice in a two-stroke. Vicky, I think, just one time out at Blue Max. And these three kids, which I don't know if you can tell by the picture, not exactly the same height and weight across these kids either. And there was a lot of in the endurance race having to move pedals during the pit stops. It was quite a shuffle. They figured it all out. They put together what they wanted their plan to be. They adjusted their plan throughout the day, and at the last moment pulled from position 4 up to position 1 on the last race and took it all home. It was a really proud moment for three dads, I'll tell you that. Cool that we got to represent Blue Max out there as well. And as part of winning that, they get to come to the next one this Sunday and hopefully win that one as well.
Yeah, so that is what I was going to mention, that the winner of the junior shootouts get to race with us for the whole championship. So now we get to see all right, Kelsey, thanks for joining us. Now we get to see the Blue Max racers in action all season, and we're excited. But I am excited. So when I was gathering who was from where and who was on the team, it was awesome because, again, this was Grant's first time in a two-stroke, and Vicky had just tested the Formula KFX car, like when we were out doing a little practice session, and she liked it. And I don't know about Brock, but I'm pretty sure he was digging it as well. So yeah, I was really excited to watch you guys and see some NorCal kids show everybody what's up at the junior shootout.
It was pretty cool. And you heard the story I just said. We went to a charity event at Sonoma, and my son jumped out of a 206 and said, I want one of these. You can imagine what he said when he jumped out of a two-stroke out at Sonoma, right?
Yeah, that was the same day we put Walter in the Formula KFX car, was when he tested it. And I'm pretty sure Walter's still got a smile from ear to ear.
He does.
About it. So yeah, it was great to see you guys out there, and I'm excited that you guys took home the win. All right, next we want to talk about the swap meet and how the swap meet went.
The swap meet also went.
Swap meet, because also Blue Max is the only club that has been consistently putting on swap meets. So let's hear about how it went and what was going on that day.
Yeah, so you're right. I didn't know that Blue Max was the only one consistently doing it. What I do know is the board was very busy with a lot of stuff going on, and the swap meet kind of fell off the radar for just a minute, but it couldn't fall off too long because of how many people we had asking when the swap meet was going to be. And so we said, there's a track cleanup day. Let's do the swap meet the day after it. And with very little advertisement, I will say, and very little of communication going out, it was a good event. Just about the entire lot was full. There was a lot of people out there selling parts and carts. We had Brian Lewis out there with 5 or 6 carts for people to test out if they were interested and wanted to see what it was like racing. Going back to the cleanup day, and this is what I thought was really neat with the community around here. We had about 3 people who had never been to Blue Max, are not members, don't have a cart, show up just to come help clean the track because they're interested in getting into karting.
Oh, that's cool.
It was neat. And they came back to the swap meet the next day and they tried out some carts. And just from those 2 days, what I'm hearing is there's about 5 or 6 new members and new people completely brand new to karting that are looking to get into it. And that's the kind of stuff that excites me, is getting these people involved in the sport, getting people hooked on it, and just building this community that we have.
Yeah. So that makes me happy, because sometimes, well, I haven't been to the Blue Max swap meet, but sometimes I wonder, like, is it just going to be people that are already in karting, or are we attracting new people? Obviously, I'm always thinking about how to get new people into karting as well. So I'm really excited about that. If your club is interested, or if you want to host a swap meet at your club or anything like that, get in touch with Jason Berry, because Jason Berry used to do all this coordination and stuff for swap meets. He's hosted some at Sonoma. He's hosted one at Blue Max as well. So Jason Berry's the guy. If you want to get a swap meet going, he can definitely help with extra cart parts and things like that. All right, Jason, there's your advertisement. But
The other Jason
Berry, not you.
Yep. And I'll say, Ashley, to touch on what you just said, you're never quite sure who's going to be at these swap meets. Everyone that I've been at has been that variety. It's been people who don't even have a cart yet, are just getting into it. Those veterans who've been doing it a long time and they're looking for extra parts. And the first one I went to was, hey, we just bought a cart and we need extra things. I didn't realize how many tie rods we were going to bend and how many steering columns we were going to mess up. And you need those extra parts.
For sure.
The other shout out as well.
You don't really think about who you're going to be attracting or what kind of customers you're going to be attracting, because, again, karting is such a small community that we're like, oh, if we need something, we can ask this person, or if we need something, we can ask this person. But we really do, like, through Norcal Karters, especially, we get a lot of questions about, hey, I'm looking for a cart, or we have people that have carts that are wondering if they can race them. And sometimes they're carts that are like not racing carts. And sometimes I'm just like, well, talk to this person and go to this club. And we usually ask where they're located and stuff like that to send them to the right clubs and stuff. But when you guys do swap meets and stuff like this, it really helps people like us and that are promoting the sport to, encourage these new people to come to these events to get an idea, like you're saying, of things that they might need, of anything that because sometimes it's overwhelming and you can tell people, oh, well, 4-stroke and 2-stroke and this and that, until they see it and until they're, again, like you were saying, Brian was there to let people test their go-karts and stuff like that. That usually is a great opportunity to get new people into the sport. And like Jason Berry always said, if we all bring one person into this, if we all bring one person into our sport, we'll double by next year. So keep having the swap meets. Again, if your club wants to host a swap meet, we can put you in touch with Jason Berry. He's the guy that knows how to plan them and organize and this and that. But I really appreciate you guys having them, because you guys, by you guys having them is where we can send new people.
Yep.
So,
And we have talked about that as well. It's a really good opportunity to get new people and get to talk to them. And taking it a step further is having somebody at the track. And I'm going to use Walter again, having somebody like Walter at the track to talk to potential new members, who has that smile ear to ear and just loves karting. That's what you need as well, as somebody out there that's not just going to talk the technical stuff, but just the love of this sport and having fun. You'll get new members.
Everybody needs a Walter, or Walter just needs to go to all the tracks. We need to just place Walter at all the tracks so that everybody can utilize Walter.
Yep.
All right. Let's touch a little bit on your 2026 schedule. If there's any questions for Jason about Blue Max, anything like that, put them in the comments so we can discuss. And yeah, all right. So we'll start off with your 2026 schedule. Again, we discussed Circuit Slayer, so that's going to be the first one coming up. But I did notice that you guys are going to have two different series, or is it going to be all one?
Tell us about it. Little bit from A, a little bit from B. So yeah, the Circuit Slayer, that's a standalone race. That's just we're going to crown the champion that day. It's not a points ongoing thing. And then we are going to start the entire season, of which there's going to be 7 total races, but we are splitting it up into 2 series. The reason that we did that is we did get some feedback, and it's something that I noticed is, a club track, we really do rely on our members and being a part of the community to survive. But there are people that buying a membership doesn't make sense. And so for them to come out and race to get a trophy that day, but not have any points accumulation, because in the past we were just, if you were a member, then you can accumulate points to be the club champion. So we decided to split it up. There's going to be 2 series, of which everybody is entitled to win the little mini series. There'll be a special awards ceremony at the end of the series. And if you're a member or a non-member, you're going to get the trophy for that mini series, either the spring sprint series, or then the summer shootout series. That being said, we're also not taking something away from our members. We still have the year-long accumulative points for all 7 races combined. Only members are eligible to win the club championship, where you get your special club jacket. You come to the end of the year banquet, you get your big trophy and your jacket, and we have a really good, fun time where we get to have some good food, have some good drinks, and win some good prizes and have a good party. Cool. So what that looks like this year is that spring sprint series. We're going to start on March 22nd. That's our first race. And then we are going to close out the series with a doubleheader on April 25th and 26th. After that, the summer shootout series will start. That's going to be a total of 4 races. May 17th will be a race, and then June 14th. Just like last year, we're going to take off the hot months. We're going to break it up. We are not going to race during July and August because of, kind of like Kelsey mentioned, they got the risk of rain. We've got the risk of heat down here in the valley. And there was times where it hits 105, 110, and you don't want 7-8-year-old kids out there in the kart in that heat. It's just not safe. So we're taking July and August off. We're going to come back for the summer shootout, and on September 12th and 13th, finish the season with a doubleheader again.
All right. And then I noticed as well, you guys are having a Formula KFX race weekend as well.
Yep. So right in March, the weekend before our March race, we have the KFX team coming out March 13th and 14th. Is that the Friday, Saturday? I think that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Friday and the Saturday, they're coming out, and they're going to host their, I don't know which race number it is for them, but that is going to be their standard series there for KFX. And, shout out to the Blue Max drivers too, guys. Let's represent. Let's come out and have some fun in these 2 strokes out at our home track. What What's not listed here is we are also talking with Fat Karting, which is the electric kart arrive and drive series, and sounds like they're also going to want to take a date and come race at our track, but the date has not been confirmed yet, but we're working on that.
Yeah. All right. So sounds like there's going to be lots of stuff happening at Blue Max this year. Glad to hear it. And all right, were we missing any other dates? I don't think so. Blue Max is listed on our calendar on Norcal Karters. So if you go to Norcal Karters, they are on our calendar, and we have all of the dates that are listed, as well as the Formula KFX. We are going to be hearing from FAT Karting. Once they finalize their schedule and get all their dates, then we'll have a representative come on the show and discuss what tracks they're going to in NorCal and all of that good stuff too. So Jason did give a little hint, Blue Max, but there should be some more that they're going to be heading in NorCal. So once they get all that figured out, then we'll definitely get them on here as well. So the best place to get, I do know that you guys just recently updated the Blue Max Facebook page, but you guys also have a Blue Max Kart Club group on Facebook as well. Are both of those good places to get information about Blue Max, or is one going to have more than the other? Kind of direct us on where to go.
Yeah, for the time being, I would say the best place to get the information is going to be on the Facebook group. That one has been around longer. A lot of people are already following that, and that's where I think people kind of go to post questions and look for things. It's more of the community side of Blue Max. We only recently got access to the actual Facebook page. It was kind of lost for a while, and we had to track down who had access to it. What I'm looking at is Facebook groups versus Facebook pages. They have different abilities. They have different marketing options. They have different things you can do. We are still in the process of figuring out exactly how we want to utilize each one. For the time being, though, we're going to make sure that the Facebook group has all the information and postings as we ramp up what the page looks like. That's when I need Kelsey's person. Let's get that contact so I can have that person take over and do a bunch of videos and stuff on our page too.
Yeah, it's Jessica is Josh Prouder's wife.
All right. It's out there now.
So, yeah, for sure. So okay. Just like Jason said, the Blue Kart Club Facebook group is going to have pretty much the up-to-date information. So start there, but they are trying to update their Facebook page. So if you haven't, go and like their Facebook page as well, just so that way you'll have a little bit of both, and you'll help them grow on their page as well. If there's any questions you want to ask Jason, go ahead and put them in the comments.
I'll throw one more thing out there as well, is our secretary of our board, Alana, has also spent some time and actually now has a monthly newsletter that we're going to send to all of our members and our contacts through email. The first one went out yesterday, I believe. Format looks great. It's concise, has a lot of information in it. And so if you're a member, or if you are even a previous member, if we have your contact information, you should be getting emails from us. If you're not, check that spam folder. Make sure your settings on our website is also not set to block the information we're sending you.
All right. Well, thanks, Jason, for joining us. This is your first time. Definitely not going to be the last. I'll usually hit you up about mid-season so we can get an update on how things are going. And then at the end of the year, we'll do like a champions shout out as well. So thanks for joining us. Again, if we have any comments, they'll be listed, and then I'll kind of go through and try and answer any questions that we need. But yeah, so don't forget to go and like the Blue Max page as well, and to register for Circuit Slayer, the Circuit Slayer race before February 20th to be in a raffle to win the set of Iveco tires.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Jason. Well, thanks for joining me tonight. I will definitely see you, and hopefully I will see you.
We'll see you this weekend.
Yeah, in Sonoma.
That's right.
All right.
Thanks so much.
Seeing our Blue Max Racers Junior Shootout winners at Formula KFX. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, we'll definitely see you this weekend.
Excellent. Take care.
All right. Take care. Have a good night.
You too.
All right. So we're going to wrap up a little bit early today, but I do want to remind everyone that Challenge of the Americas registration has been extended, not for long, but for K1. So I want you to go and register today, so that way we don't waste any more time. And I will put it up here. Challenge of the Americas. It's on Race Select. And that way we can know that y'all are coming. Obviously, Josh and I will be there. And the link is right here. Go Challenge Karting Facebook page. Those are the dates right there. Locations. Look for the dog. Race Select CODA 2026. Go and register. We are going to finally have 206 in Challenge of the Americas. So in order to keep the class, we need to make sure that everybody is registering, or if we don't have enough participants, we will not offer the class. So go and register for Challenge of the Americas. We'll see you there, or we'll see you at Sonoma this weekend. As always, thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll see you. And I'm going to leave you with words from Jason Berry. If we all bring one person into the sport, we will double by next year. Thanks, NorCal.